What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Connor Ryan. This is my gaming channel. If you're new here, consider subscribing. And today's video, I'm going to be ranking all of the Assassin's Creed games with, Valhalla on the horizon. Thought it'd be a good time to look back at all the games and rank them. Anyway, so let's get into this. First one here is Assassin's Creed Revelations. It's the third one of Ezio's games. Yeah, it was decent enough. I thought it wasn't amazing. Out of the three, definitely thought Constantinople was a good setting, but it was also the last game of Ezio, so you knew that the series was coming to an end for Ezio. But definitely don't think it was as good as the first two, like Brotherhood and 2. I think they were just far better. Like, it kind of took things from Brotherhood, which were good, but it didn't really add anything new to the series. And yeah, that's kind of the only reason I'm putting it that great. The next one is Assassin's Creed 2, which you can't put that. There's no way you couldn't put that at the top of all the Assassin's Creed games. The story was just amazing, like how Ezio became an assassin. Still probably one of the best, if not the best, Assassin's Creed storylines out there. Combat is definitely changed from how it was in 2 all the way up to Odyssey. One thing that I heard they are bringing back for Valhalla is kind of how you could counter with the hidden blade and also always get, a one-shot kill. They are bringing that back from 2, which, was probably one of the best features in the combat in that game. Free running, it was alright for the time. The graphics were also alright for the time. But if you were to get the 3 games, I'd say, even as just a collector, for like 40 quid's pretty good price, or even if you're new enough to the series, picking up the Ezio collection is definitely really good to get. Next game up is Odyssey. See, I played a good bit of Odyssey, but I don't know how I feel about it. Like, the setting and the graphics are definitely perfect, and the combat, but it's just, I think I'll put it at amazing. The reason for me putting it at amazing is because I think the game was just a bit too big, and in certain aspects of the game it got very repetitive. Like, it felt kind of like Wildlands at points where it was go to a certain village or a town to liberate, like the it's like compound, to liberate the compound to get them out of there. But yeah, the combat was really good. Like I said, graphics was really good. It was like Origins, but they made huge improvements on the way you have certain gear types and weapon types and stuff like that. And it's definitely one of the better Assassin's Creed games out there to date. Graphics wise and gameplay wise, it is pretty good, and hopefully Valhalla will do what that game did to Origins and just improve. I heard they're making the game a bit smaller, so hopefully it won't be as repetitive, but the graphics do for Valhalla look amazing so far. Next game is Unity. Definitely a very controversial game. They try to change too many things, I think, too quickly by making the game feel a lot more alive and make the map a bit bigger than it usually was for an Assassin's Creed game. So at the price of that, it was very buggy at launch. If you remember the season pass and everything, people were getting refunded for, and they gave out the game and the season pass for free at points. Even when the Notre Dame fire happened in real life, they gave the game out for free. Story wise, I think Arno was very boring at the start because he was just too obsessed with Elise, but further on into Dead Kings, where Elise has passed, he kind of just becomes more of that master assassin character that we've come to know with Ezio and Altair of the past games. But I think just for the way the game launched, I'm in between meh and okay, to be honest. I love the free running. It's probably my favourite free running out of all of them. It's more stylish than the other ones. The combat, though, is very buggy at times. Even the multiplayer, even in 2020, is still buggy as shit. So I think for that, actually, I'll put it in meh. It was definitely wasn't definitely wasn't one of the best Assassin's Creed games out there, sadly. Even though I think that they should bring back the free running from that game. It was really good. Maybe just do it up a bit, fix it up a bit as well, and you'd probably have one of the best free runs in all Assassin's Creed. Next one up is Assassin's Creed 3. This game holds a special place in my heart because it was the first ever collector's edition I ever bought of a game. Came with pretty cool stuff like an assassin's medallion and an artwork book and stuff like that. It was also probably one of the first games I ever bought with my own money. And the Assassin has the same name, so that's also a big win for me. Definitely wasn't perfect. See, I can't really put it on the same line as Odyssey either, though, because Odyssey changed something. I'll put it on the same line as Revelations. You know, it wasn't the best Assassin's Creed game. Also was definitely not the worst Assassin's Creed game. I think the setting of Civil War America was pretty cool. You know, seeing the founding fathers of America was pretty sick. Playing even as, you know, a Native American instead of playing as a, you know, a full-on American was something pretty cool to see. Especially with the Tomahawk was a great addition, and the rope darts were pretty sick as well. You know, the way you could rope dart people hanging from the tree and stuff like that was probably one of the coolest kind of like finisher type moves we've definitely seen in Assassin's Creed to date. Is there things they should bring back from it? Maybe in Valhalla we'd probably see the Tomahawk make a return, I'd say, definitely, but more so as a throw type weapon, I'd say, instead of an actual handheld one-handed weapon like we saw in 3. Rogue I didn't really play a whole lot of, so I don't really know where to rank it, to be honest. I heard it was, like, I didn't finish it or anything. I heard it was really good, that it was kind of like Black Flag 2.0, you know, but for 40 quid I suppose it's pretty good, but at the same time it's not really a full-fledged Assassin's Creed game. It was kind of like a filler for when they brought out Unity. Maybe instead of devoting all their time to making it, they could have made Unity a lot less buggy than it was at launch. I put it at great, I suppose. Shay Cormac was a pretty sick character, not gonna lie. Hunting down, you know, assassins is pretty cool. Obviously not everyone's going to like it, because everyone is going to be, you know, pro-assassin instead of, you know, kind of siding with a Templar, but then again he's not really a full-fledged Templar either. He was kind of hunting down kind of bad assassins and stuff. But I think just for the sake of it being a kind of 10-hour campaign, for me, would put it at great. It's definitely not as good as Odyssey. See, it's going to be kind of hard to pass Odyssey. But yeah, let me leave it at great. The next one is Assassin's Creed 1, which I've played a good amount of hours of. Honestly, I'm going to slap it straight at okay. For today's standards, the graphics still kind of hold up on PC, I suppose. Console, not as much. The combat was definitely the most unique combat out of all of them. It was very counter heavy. You couldn't really attack, or else you'd get fucked up in that game pretty much. Altair as a character was pretty sick. Still don't know why he has a full-fledged American accent in Assassin's Creed 1 though, and then in Revelations they finally changed it for him to have a Middle Eastern accent. Obviously he is held as probably the second most famous Assassin's Creed character. Ezio's definitely the first. You know, he's kind of seen as like nearly the founding father of like the modern Assassin's Creed. Obviously with Bayek and Origins being pretty much the founding father with his band of mates. But the setting is pretty cool, you know, Masyaf Castle and all that. Obviously it's your first introduction to Assassin's Creed, so for most people it's going to be set a pretty high standard straight away. But, you know, in today's standards of Assassin's Creed, if you were to go back and play it, it probably would be a chore. But the story of it is still pretty cool. You know, Altair is still a pretty sick character, not going to lie, even though you know, he did go batshit insane in his later years and sought revenge and got his wife killed in the process. Assassin's Creed Origins, I've played a handful of hours of. I couldn't really get into it. I know a lot of people view it very highly. For me though, it's okay. You know, it was too different, too quickly, kind of like Unity, but a lot better than Unity in ways. It's kind of the like weird homing arrow that you could control the arrows and stuff. For me was really weird. It was kind of more so an open world RPG than it was an Assassin's Creed at the time for me. Obviously this is the route they're going with the new Assassin's Creed. You can see with Odyssey and definitely with Valhalla, I'd say. Even though they keep saying that they're tweaking certain things with Valhalla, bringing back certain aspects from the old games, but I'd say they're going to still stick with the RPG style of gameplay with, like, you know, certain weapon types having certain gear types and stuff like that. Definitely one of the better looking worlds, you know, I think it's the exploration mode or something it's called, where you could explore the ancient Sphinx, the pyramids of Giza and all that, and it would give you a full history breakdown of what happened in the construction, what is like so significant about them. But yeah, it's definitely not the worst Assassin's Creed game like Unity, but I definitely wouldn't put it as high as, you know, let's say Assassin's Creed 2 or Odyssey, even though it's on the same rank kind of as Odyssey in certain people's minds. But for me, definitely not. Bayek though was a pretty cool character. It's pretty sick seeing Egypt obviously as well. But yeah, like I said, it was just the weird like arrow mechanics, and seeing the world from the bird's eye view was kind of really weird as well. Black Flag, honestly amazing in my eyes. First ever Pirates Assassin's Creed. It worked on the naval combat from Assassin's Creed 3. Definitely brought in its like fresh and own take on the pirate genre. You know, it's kind of cool seeing Edward evolve as a character. You know, the way he wasn't really born into the Creed or anything, but he found an assassin washed up on the shore. You know, he takes all his gear. Then later actually does get introduced into the Creed, which was pretty sick. And obviously he is the grandfather of Oreton Haketon, which is pretty cool. You know, it continues the bloodline of the two of them. But yeah, overall the combat was pretty sick. The executions were really, really cool. Even just, you know, weakening a ship and then boarding it was probably some of the coolest aspects of Assassin's Creed. I still think it's actually the biggest map known to date in Assassin's Creed, but that's pretty much because it's mostly water. But the combat was really, really cool. The free running, I actually don't remember the free running that much, to be honest. It was probably just the same as Assassin's Creed 3 as far as I remember. But just the fact that it was a Pirates Assassin's Creed, and it's, you know, it's not mainly on land in this one, it's mostly on your ship, is definitely a new take, and it was pretty cool for the time, I thought. But Edward Kenway as well was a really, really cool character. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, honestly amazing. Even just building your own Brotherhood was pretty sick. Like, I know a lot of people like those style of games, you know, like kind of like Clash of Clans, where like you build up your own clan and stuff. Obviously it continues Ezio's story exactly from Assassin's Creed 2, like the exact frame where it finishes is where it picks up. It's pretty cool. It's not the longest Assassin's Creed as far as I remember. It only took me about 10 hours to complete, kind of like Rogue, but it had a lot more content than Rogue. You know, you could build up your Creed, you could at the time there was multiplayer. They didn't bring it back for the Ezio collection, sadly, but I remember that multiplayer being pretty cool. It was it wasn't like Unity's multiplayer where it was 4-player co-op. It was more so kind of like Trouble in Terrorist Town from Gary's Mod, if you know what that is. But yeah, obviously it's Ezio. Ezio's probably still the coolest character. The combat didn't change from 2. The free running didn't change from 2. The only thing that it was only one map as well, pretty much. It was just Rome. And yeah, that's pretty much it on the Brotherhood. But it was pretty cool actually tracking down Leonardo da Vinci's machines, you know, being able to drive his tank, and you know, seeing his flying machine make a return and stuff like that. Is Leonardo da Vinci is always a win in my book. He's one of the best characters in the Assassin's Creed for sure, and one of the coolest people in history in real life. He's definitely probably my favourite historical figure. And last but not least is Syndicate. See, I'm just putting the meh for buggy mess, so I'll put it at okay. Yeah, Jacob Fry as a character, for me, there was more personality in a tissue, to be honest. He was so boring. I could tell that they were trying to just, you know, make him like the comedic relief. You know, he just popped some of his stupid comments from time to time. Evie though was pretty sick as a character, not gonna lie. The free running was definitely kind of an improvement a bit on Unity. Again, I cleaned it up a bit, but they dropped it again for the next game. It was probably a bit too modern. You know, I always wanted them to do like a modern Assassin's Creed with Desmond, but after seeing that, I think if it goes too modern, that the game just gets out of hand, really, because everyone just has guns and shit, constantly dodging. But kind of the same thing as Brotherhood. You know, you kind of set up your own Creed, but they weren't really assassins or any of that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Obviously, you can tell it's kind of the more mainstream games. Like, I don't have Liberations in there, I don't have the Chronicles in there, or any of the PS Vita games. It was solely kind of just the mainstream Assassin's Creed games that everyone's played. Leave me know in the comments down below, guys, what way you'd have this. Obviously, it's going to be completely different to mine. This is just my opinion on the games and how I would rank them. If you liked the video, guys, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one, guys. Peace.